Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says there are certain parts of town that you cannot go, and there are certain people that you cannot be around. Yep. Right? If there's someone who is black in our church, and they've been in our church, and we know them, and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person, right? But we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers, and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger. Them's the facts. And it is actually a failure of your parental duty. White parents, please hear me. If you teach your children growing up, if you lie to them and say all people and all races of people in our country are the same, they are not. You are actually depriving your child of factual, truthful information that could save their life.
So them's the facts, huh? Honestly, them's the facts these are the residuals and the ideas of the former Charlie Kirk. This is, and that's not him, but this is how the influence is out there. Maybe this man was influenced by him. Maybe this man influenced him. Or maybe there's some other line of similarity or symmetry that these two come to the same conclusion. But the brazen boldness that people have today to make these unsubstantiated claims, as a matter of fact, to be honest, and every black person knows this, every black person knows this. Of course, if you go into certain parts of towns, whether it's mostly black people, mostly white people, mostly Spanish people, if it's a high crime area, yeah, you shouldn't let your children go over there. It's going to be dangerous. There are parts of Atlanta where it is all Spanish. I ain't going. There are parts of Atlanta that's all white. I ain't going because it's high crime area. So I'm not going. There are parts of San Antonio, probably. I haven't explored that much, but I ain't going simply because there's a higher crime rate. So why would I go there? But every black person knows, we all know, that when we're, say, there's a crowd of black people and you're downtown Atlanta or downtown San Antonio and a white person enters that crowd, they're probably the safest white person in America at that moment. They are the safest white person in America at that moment. Because what almost every black person knows is that if you were to, still to this day, I know it's not I know it's not Jim Crow, but if something happened to that little white girl or that little white boy in the midst of all these black people, that hell is about to rain down, not only from the police department, not only from the government, but also from the radical white people at large. We know this, and we know it's still true to this day. This is why you'll see those videos where it's at a crowd event, people are dancing, and that one white girl who can barely hardly dance like black people gets all this praise and all this attention because we know. And part of it is because it's like somebody who accepts us. And for some strange ass reason, we still have this desire to be accepted by people. But everybody knows you ain't gonna mess with that person. So we're happy that you enjoy us. We're happy about that. Particularly don't care, and I think it's a sickness. But a worse sickness is to teach your children that if they see a crowd of black people, not a crowd of black people in a bad part of town, but just a general crowd of black people that you don't know, because we got that one good little ninja that come to our church. We know Brother Paul. We know Brother Jefferson. We got that one good one. That one that coming out. I's a here, sir. I's a here, sir. Praise of the Lord, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. My name is Jefferson. Yes, sir. I went to college and everything, sir. So I think I've equated myself quite well to be here with y'all. Yeah, you like that one. You want that one or two in the church. Make you feel like you're not racist. And then you try to stand behind some statistic that you may have found that says that you are a white person or a person different from a black person is 30 times more likely to be assaulted in a crime-ridden black neighborhood than a black person in that same neighborhood. Yeah, that's probably true. In a crime-ridden. But that is not how this was expressed. This was expressed purely just a crowd of black people. Just any old crowd of black people. And you're 30 times more likely. If that was the case, okay, if that was the case, black people assaulting or killing white people in Atlanta would be at a level where white people would be terrified to go to Atlanta. Because it's black as hell in Atlanta. And there ain't nowhere you gonna go, for the most part, in Atlanta, where you ain't gonna see a bunch of black people. But yet, white people miraculously are just surviving and thriving. You go to DC, chocolate city, and yet there is no big high crime statistic of white people just being assaulted and murdered and in mass around all those black people. It just don't happen. Y'all all up in Harlem. Just tons of black people in Chicago. And yet, what black people ain't killing white people. Everything is the same as everything else. Matter of fact, you're more likely to be killed by someone who looks just like you. You're more likely to be assaulted by someone who looks just like you. The overall majority of women who are assaulted by somebody just like them, look just like them, live in their neighborhood, live near their neighborhood, but look just like them. The same thing with black people, same thing with Spanish people, same thing with Asian people. That's the truth. So the most dangerous person is somebody who looks like you. And when you go into in your churches, you're most likely to be molested by somebody that you know, not somebody that you don't know. We like to say stranger danger, but we all know what's happening with the pastors and the deacons, the elders. We know that the overwhelming majority of that molestation is happening by family members and friends and clergy members. So this type of racism, this type of mentality, this is why people don't have any empathy for certain people when they kick the bucket. This man kicks the bucket. I don't know who he is. I will not shed a tear nor have one sad emotional moment. Why should I be sad? Somebody who spews out hate, and especially hate against people who look like me, simply because of a made up thing called race. Y'all talking about the people out there talking about pray for this person, pray for that person, pray for this country. Let's do like Germany and make that type of speech illegal. Isn't it amazing? As a black man, I can go to Germany and feel more safe than I would feel in America. And one of the reasons is because 60 years ago, they made it illegal for you to broadcast hate speech. And so generations have grown up not hearing hate speech. And I'm safer in Germany. Germany, y'all. Germany. If it wasn't so cold there, I'd go back. But always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.